Hey everyone, back again, Colin Shadwell for another teapot tutorial. This is my fourth teapot in my series of 6, and it turned out to be one of my, I think, best of this series. I really struggled to throw this one at the beginning. I remember thinking that it was really struggling. I think it had a lot of air bubbles when I was throwing it, and just it was kind of a struggle to get this shape. It's a basic rounded off shape that you'll see here. Again, my thumb pull, and you can see there, like, sometimes my thumb just catches and it doesn't quite get the clay I want, and then I've had to go back and start over again, and you can see the clay's a little wobbly, and you can tell I'm just struggling here to pull this one up. So as I'm making this, I'm thinking this is just not going to turn out well. I've got some thinner parts at the top that I had to try to put some clay back into, and sometimes the clay will fight you. I know, like, typically when I get on a roll of making one vessel after another, they usually come pretty smoothly, but this one I remember clearly thinking, I don't know if this one's going to make it, but I got my my cylinder in the way that I wanted it, and then now it's just a matter of very slowly and very carefully to start bowling it out, and just watching your bottom, making sure it doesn't get too thin at the bottom, and then just getting the general bowled out shape here, trying to keep your top collared in so it doesn't get too flared out. You can see the top here is getting a little wobbly, which is fine. I can always just kind of center it back up and then cut off the top if I need to, but using that rib tool helps compress that clay and makes it a little bit stronger. So I'm making my little shelf now for my lid. Smoothing thing over with the chamois cloth, cutting away excess clay at the bottom and get rid of some of that weight off the bottom. A little wobbly, but when it's still, it's not too bad. So now I'm on to throwing the lid for this guy. I'm going to try to mirror the shape of the lid with the shape of the pot. So what I'm going to actually do is going to throw a little rounded part of the top here as well, and close it in so I get this tiny little ball up here. So it's not a big thick one. If it was just put a ball that size on top, it would be kind of heavy. So I want this to remain light. So this is a little hollow piece at the top. Getting rid of all this excess clay, smoothing it out, checking my size one more time with the chamois to smooth everything out, and then a real small little nubbin for the spout here as well. I'm not going to do too much here, just a little one. I like to try to vary the sizes of the spouts. They're not all the same, so every time I try to do something a little different. But this one, just a little small one that I'll put up towards the top and try to make it roundest too. So instead of making a handle, this one I went a little crazy and I used a hacksaw blade and literally chopped off a section of the piece. And what I'm going to do is take a slab of clay and fill this space back in, and kind of make it look like it's been cut away. And then what I'll end up doing, and here I'm trying to figure out a way to have the piece held, and I'm using this little bucket that I use to trim sometimes, and it's not working too well, so I'll put it away and just lay it on its side. But I'm actually going to use the piece that I cut away as the handle. I'll reattach it after I put this slab in here. So basically what I'm trying to do here is smush this down in to create the look of an empty space, and use the handle to kind of reinforce the idea that the vessel is whole, which you'll see here at the end. So again, I'm trying to really compress the clay so it doesn't crack, really trying to smooth it over the edge, and then I'll come back later on with the Sureform and clean it up, but really just kind of smushing this clay in so I don't get a lot of cracks, but I think this will hold up well. Smoothing away with the sponge, of course. I really, at the end of every single piece, I just go back and hit it with the sponge for a long time just to get any little imperfections out. So now I'm taking the piece and I'm going to carve out some lines, and my battery died here, so it kind of caught at the end. But basically, I just cut off a section of it, and I'll reattach it. You can see it's kind of on there right now. You'll get a better view in a second here. Here's my little nubbin spout. Choosing a high location. Remember, you want the top of your spout to be where the top of your water level is going to be, because otherwise, you put it lower, then when you fill it with water, you're just going to get water pouring out your spout. So get a little doggy paw holes there. It's kind of weird. Attach the spout. Nice clean seal. I think I do end up carving a little bit off the spout here too. Yeah, just a little, just to kind of flatten it out. Again, with the sponge everywhere. You can kind of see that handle. There it is. That I just used that piece that I cut off and just cut a section out of it. And here's the finished result. You can see that from the side, it does look like it's part of the original shape. You know, it follows the same curve as the other side. So really kind of unique thing. I might try to do a lot more of these little cutaways. They're actually pretty easy, and the end result is fairly unique. So I like this one, and I hope you liked it too. Thanks for watching.